career record of 70 wins and 11 losses and 1 no-decision fight. In fact, one of the tragedies of recent modern sport was when Benny Kid Paret died after having been knocked out by Emile Griffiths some years ago now. Something that took Griffith himself a while to recover from. Okay, round 1. That's Monzon in the white trunks. Griffith in the dark. Monzon with the left jabs. Griffith with that left lead. Feeling out process. Griffith said he would try to carry the fight, and it looks like maybe that's going to be his strategy as he begins to try to move in a little bit, although he has 5 inches less in reach than Monzon does. Monzon is 4 inches taller than Griffith and has 5 more inches in reach. Pretty significant amount of distance there to hold away the smaller man. Griffith on the right now, Monzon looking at you in the white trunks. Crowd quiet now, but probably not for long. Just wait until a significant blow is struck, particularly if it is struck by the man from Argentina. Monzon being extremely careful, it seems, so far. Griffith, perhaps, just not able to get in. Looks like he wants to be the aggressor, but can't do it so far. Tentative first round at this point. Well, there's a world championship. Wild swing by Griffith. .115 left in round 1. Crowd waiting for something to happen. Not heckling the fighters yet, however. They'll be patient. To this fight so long, and for Argentine scale of prices, they've paid a lot of money. Less than a minute now in round 1. Still absolutely nothing has happened in this round. Look out. Almost got that one. And now Monzon got in a couple there at close quarters. There you see the clock, number of seconds left in round 1. I think the crowd wanted to see more than they had actually seen then in that exchange. Both fighters still very fresh. The feeling out process perhaps coming to its end as round 1 comes to its conclusion. What we do to Mercury Comet on the test.
Down to her price.
Round 2 of the scheduled 15. Felt each other out. This is round.
Hey, want us. Some name. Want us.
The issue has not yet truly been joined in the fight between Carlos Monzon and Emile Griffith for the middleweight championship of the world. The first round almost completely devoid of action as the fighters felt each other out. This is round 2. Remember, the fight you're seeing is coming to you by satellite from Luna Park in Buenos Aires, Argentina. This is Jim McKay doing the commentary for you from New York, because with the sound we're getting from Keith Jackson in Argentina is not a suitable quality for air. We're working on it. We'll send it back to Keith when we can. Monzon in the white trunks. Griffith with his back to you. Round 2 of the scheduled 15. Griffith trying to regain the middleweight championship after having lost it almost 4 years ago. It's his first chance to regain it since then. Monzon, who won it less than a year ago in a big upset over Nino Benvenuti in Rome, then defended successfully against Benvenuti in Monte Carlo. Trying to figure out the style of Emile Griffith. body punches at close quarters that time, but nothing too much. Monzon may be starting to flick that left in a little bit. Joining battle at closer quarters. Now maybe we'll see something. That missed, that left. As you can see, every time Monzon lifts a glove, he's cheered. Griffith now trying to move in to maul him a little bit. Crowd liking it more. Well, now we're getting some exchanges. I wonder how strong Griffith's legs are at age 33. Let's keep an eye on it. Watch. Whoop. That missed. Carlos Monzon with his back to you, almost against the rope. Less than 30 seconds left in round 2. Round seemed to go much more quickly than the first one, didn't it? A good deal more action. Look from slightly overhead, and now back down to fighter level. Nearing the end of round 2 at Luna Park in Buenos Aires. We'll be back.
Keep it that way with Brill Cream, the one for soft hair.
And now we're ready for round 3 by satellite from Buenos Aires, Argentina. Carlos Monzon on the left in the white trunks. Emile Griffith with his back to you now in the darker trunks. Round 3 for the middleweight championship of the world of a scheduled 15. There have been no knockdowns as yet, and not too much action. Monzon now with the left, flicking it faster. Griffith still unable to get in. He wanted to carry the fight, but so far he can't get through the longer reach. Monzon with a reach of 77 inches to 72 for Griffith. Monzon 5 feet 11 and a half inches tall. Griffith 5'7" and a half. You can see that reach is making a difference, at least in keeping Griffith away from Monzon. As for positive action on the champion's part, not too much as yet. This is Jim McKay calling the action for you by monitor from New York. We're still waiting for a better sound circuit from the scene in Argentina. Mexican referee separating the fighters. Some way to move in a little closer. He's going to carry the fight. Champion content at this point to keep his man away from him and look for the opening. Remember, Monzon may be the best overhand right in boxing today. So watch that right hand of the champion who's facing you now, remember. If you've just joined us, the fight is in fact coming to you in black and white. You don't have to bother with your color controls here. There's no color television in Argentina. This is round 3 again. Monzon being very wary of Griffith still. 30 seconds left in round 3. Shaking the champion a little bit that time. Nearing the end of round 3 as the action picks up. Griffith on the right. Looks like those last two connected on Griffith. That's the end of round 3. The crowd really liking it now. There's Carlos Monzon, the champion. Let's take a look in his corner between the 3rd and 4th rounds. Normally, you'd expect that Howard Cosell would be talking to you on this occasion. Well, Keith Jackson's our reporter on the scene today, a most competent fight reporter, because of the fact that Howard is out in St. Louis getting ready for the big pro football game on Monday night between the St. Louis Cardinals and the New York Jets that will be coming to you on NFL football, Monday Night Football on ABC. Wasn't that a wild opening weekend of pro football last week? More coming up. 9 o'clock Eastern Time Monday will be the time for that fight, as champion Carlos Monzon apparently can hardly wait to get going on his feet, ready for the next round. Looked like he might be starting to get to Emile Griffith at the end of the last one. This is round 4 by satellite from Argentina. 23,000 people jammed into Luna Park, an indoor arena. Expected to go the distance, remember, so let's keep our eyes open. Anytime you hear a cheer, it means that the crowd at least thought it saw a punch landed by the champion Monzon. Very few Griffith rooters here. He's a long way from home. 5,302 miles from New York. Very much a big city setting, though, for this fight. Buenos Aires, with a metropolitan population of more than 8 million people, providing this tremendous crowd, and they could have filled the arena 5 or 6 times with the room available. It's also being seen live on television in Argentina by a presidential decree, really. It's being seen in Europe, right now would like to see a little more something happen. About a minute and a half left in round 4, scheduled 15. Monzon very much stand up. Griffith, the shorter man, hunched over a bit. Would love to get in and start pounding the body of Monzon, but no luck so far. Again, I'm watching on a monitor, as you are. That seemed to land on the ear of Monzon, the right hand by Griffith. That jab got in. Griffith getting a little closer to being inside his man. Monzon having a little trouble, I think, figuring out the constantly moving and bobbing style of Emile. How many rounds can 33-year-old Emile Griffith keep moving, however? There you see it, 20 seconds to go now in round 4. Round 4 nearly over.
Most new cars leaving U.S. factories are... Wow. How does it look? Rapid shave. Rather, when it comes to your chin, use your head.
It's round 5 at Luna Park in Buenos Aires, Argentina. Carlos Monzon, the champion, against Emile Griffith for the middleweight championship of the world. Monzon on the right of your screen in the lighter colored trunks. Griffith moving forward. The jab has been keeping him away so far. knockout winner over Nino Benvenuti almost a year ago. Has since defended against Benvenuti successfully. He's knocked him out twice. In his career, he's won 72 fights, 34 of them by knockouts, while losing only 3. At the age of 29 at the peak of his powers. A little holding and hitting there, huh? See how long that left arm of Monzon appears in comparison to Griffith. Well, it is 5 inches longer. Monzon won the Argentine title way back in 1966, 5 years ago, by defeating Jorge Fernandez. Won the South American Championship the following year, now the world champion. Liking that. Howard Cosell's watching out in St. Louis. He just called in and said, Jim, take a look how Monzon uses his shoulders and his head in the clinches. Well, let's watch that, Howard. Okay. We got a broadcast with a picture coming from Argentina. Doing the commentary from New York, and Howard's phoning in from St. Louis. Anybody else want to join? Kind of fun. Monzon, though, in the 5th round, still stalking his man. Griffith still trying to move in. Less than 30 seconds to go in round 5. Strange fights at this point. I almost have the feeling that something's got to give. Coming to the end of round 5.
Why settle for less? When you're out of Schlitz, you're out of beer.
We're ready for round 6 at Luna Park in Argentina. Emile Griffith against Carlos Monzon for the middleweight championship of the world. The picture coming to you by satellite. This is Jim McKay doing the commentary by monitor in New York because we do not have a good enough sound line from Keith Jackson at ringside in Argentina. However, we have a report from ringside that the feeling there is 2 rounds for each man with 1 even. The fight is even at this point. That's completely unofficial, of course, but that's the way it looks to the naked eye down there. You and I, watching on the monitor, might get a slightly distorted view. However, that's about the way it's looked to me, so maybe the pictures are not lying to us today. A word here for you engineers at our local stations around the country. We're going to try to give you a station break at the end of round 6 here, so look lively into the round. Again, we would say, let's watch Griffith for any signs of weariness. Remember, he's 33 years old, and although he's only 4 years older than Monzon, he's been at it a long, long time. He's taken a lot of blows in his career there. Monzon certainly got in a couple that time. Griffith, in his familiar style, always trying to move forward, always moving around in some fashion at all times. That was nothing. Remember, though the referee is Mexican, he does not have a vote if this fight goes 15 rounds, and all of the judges are Argentines. Well, see if that has any effect. And again, keep an eye on Monzon's right hand, an overhand right, usually his most effective Army-Navy football game, that chant in the background, doesn't it? Of them jammed into that arena down there. So far, they're not seeing really what they came to see. They wanted to see Monzon, I think, quickly finish off his man to look like the champion he has in his 2 fights against Benvenuti. So far, he's not that great. And now we have 15 seconds left in round 6. We'll return with more of ABC's Wide World of Sports right after this message from our local stations. Championship of the world is on the line as we watch by satellite from Luna Park in Argentina. Carlos Monzon, the champion. Retreating on the left of your screen. Emile Griffith trying to move in. This is round 7 of a scheduled 15. Unofficially, to me, it looks like 3-2-1 for Monzon at this point, but not too much to choose between them. The action has not been great. There have been no knockdowns. Nothing close to it. Neither man has been staggered. Monzon can do it with a punch or two, remember. Griffith also has had a good punch during his long career. Whether he still has it at age 33 and whether his legs for the last 15 rounds are questions. Very much open and unanswered to this point. Seventh round, scheduled 15. Didn't look too agile on his feet that last time trying to move in. But he certainly doesn't look bone weary. Sound of Spanish voices in the background. You may hear them talking. Spanish-speaking voices, Argentine for the most part. Emile Griffith, 5,300 miles from his New York home. Monzon, perhaps a little too careful in front of this home crowd. It's the night of his life. A fighter who was never idolized in his native country until he won the championship, and now, literally a national idol who yesterday was greeted and talked to by the president of Argentina. Well, now beginning to move it. There was a left by Griffith. You might have heard a little. That counter-punching left from Griffith, but Monzon also doing a good job on Emile right now. Best action of the fight so far. Griffith looking a little rocky. 25 seconds to go in this round. Now they're getting what they came for. 15 seconds left, and Griffith looks okay right now. Watch out, though. Watch for that right hand of Monzon. Okay, that's it. That's the end of round 7. But Emile Griffith now knows that he's been in a fight. Monzon starting to get his combinations going in that round. Take a look in Griffith's corner now between rounds 7 and 8. Now we're going back into round 7. Let's see if we can see once again just how hard those punches were. This is a replay on the round that has just ended, remember. There it is. Less than 30 seconds to go. Monzon finding his man with at least 2 or 3 right then. Not that time, though. And not now. Hit him on the back that time. And now Griffith holding on. But that one exchange we saw at the beginning of this replay, it looked like, by monitor, Monzon really hurt his man. Now we're back again by satellite in the corner of Emile Griffith. Coming to you in black and white, remember, because there are no color television facilities in Argentina as yet. If you've been with us from the beginning, forgive us for mentioning these things over and over again, but a lot of people join and wonder why it's in black and white, etc. Okay, Monzon. Now, let's see if we can keep it going. Monzon with his back to you. Griffith lying on the ropes. This is round 8 of a scheduled 15. Left by Griffith that I think landed from the back. Again, I'm looking by monitor. This is Jim McKay in New York calling it for you because the sound line is out from Argentina. Howard Cosell doing a little bit of expertise for us from time to time by telephone from St. Louis, where he's standing by for the pro football game on Monday night. And they're calling in from ringside on the telephone to tell us how they think the fight is going. I have it unofficially by monitor at 4-2-1 for Monzon now. Howard, give us a call with your score when you have a chance for it. Looking like a confident fighter now, like he thinks he can figure this thing out within a couple of rounds and get his man. A minute to go in round 8. Monzon very definitely in charge at this point. Right hand back there. I'm going to go. Those missed. Griffith must begin to get a little tired at this point. He's taking a pretty good pummeling now from Carlos Monzon, the champion of the middleweight world. 30 seconds to go in round 8. Griffith getting into trouble again. Griffith looking rocky. He could go. Up with a couple of lefts. Well, he won't go in this round, it looks like. End of round 8. Carlos Monzon on the left against Emile Griffith. Monzon the champion. Appears to be ahead. Watching on the monitor from New York as we are, along with you on your home set, looks to me as if Monzon has quite a commanding lead at this point. The word from ringside, however, is that he is slightly ahead, so maybe those punches haven't been quite as hard as they've looked on our screen. I have it 5-2-1. Boy, you can't get more unofficial than my scorecard is, 5,300 miles away. Cosell is watching the fight out in St. Louis. They tell me they got his telephone line pumped into me. Now, Howard, do you hear me?
Open up, Howard. Hear me?
Yes, Howard. How's it look to you? You hear me, Howard? Well, I heard you okay, Howard Cosell, but
Kill Howard.
I guess you're not getting me. I'm trying to bring Howard Cosell in by telephone from St. Louis. Keep watching the fight. Monzon. On the right now. Monzon with his back to you. More than halfway through this fight, Many people didn't think it would go this far. Let's try Howard. Howard, do you hear me now?
Yes, I do, Jimmy.
What do you think?
Well, I made it 6-1-1 Monzon from the monitor, but I know from long experience you can't always judge that accurately from the monitor, and I want to make one thing clear. You are doing an amazing job in showing your versatility in calling this fight off the monitor. You've made every essential point. Monzon's a tough fighter. He is not a great fighter, probably an overrated fighter, but he does have a good overhand right that he has not been able to evidence tonight because he hasn't gotten in close to Griffith, and yet if Griffith got in close to him, Griffith would be destroyed by the elbows and the shoulders on the inside and the rapid punching behind the ears. It's Monzon's fight clearly up to here, Jim, which is exactly what you've said.
Thanks very much, Howard. We shouldn't expect to do the fight this way. Once again, I'm sitting in New York, calling off the monitor because our audio line from Keith Jackson, Argentina, is out. Howard Cosell is out in St. Louis someplace. Where are you, Howard? In your room?
No, I'm in St. Louis, awaiting the arrival of the New York Jets, who will be going against the St. Louis Cardinals.
Okay, look at it. Look at the action now.
I wish they had Joe Namath, but the viewers will see that one Monday night.
Okay, Howard, we'll get back to you in the next round. Thanks very much. Here comes the end of the round. Routine, the middleweight championship.
That feels barber close.
Oh, me, barber close.
For a shave that feels barber close, use...
It's round 10 of a scheduled 15, the middleweight championship of the world on the line at Luna Park in Buenos Aires. The picture by satellite. The commentary, I'm Jim McKay speaking to you from New York, calling it from monitor. Our thanks to Howard Cosell, who checked in by telephone from St. Louis, where he's waiting for the New York Jets to come in to play the St. Louis Cardinals on Monday night, NFL pro football game that'll be coming to you at 9 Eastern time on ABC. The fight is in black and white. Everything a little bit different here today because there's no color TV in Argentina. However, this fight figured to be a good one. We wanted to bring it to you, so we're using the equipment available, which is actually an old ABC black and white unit. Monzon I have leading by 6-2-1. I believe Howard has him 7-1-1, so he's got a long lead, it appears, from what we can see on our monitors. And it would figure that he would wear down the older Emile Griffith. Griffith has not been down. Neither man has been knocked down in this fight. Just a little bit weary. When they get weary, sometimes they start to come down. When those hands get down too far, look out. Well, I thought they saw a little budding that time on the part of Griffith. Historically, one of the great divisions in boxing. This fellow's small enough to be fast and big enough to hit hard. And that's true of both of these men. We passed the halfway mark in this round. Round 10. Scheduled 15. Monzon continuing to pile up the points. It wasn't supposed to be a point fight. It was supposed to be a knockout one way or the other. And it may yet be. Griffith's trying. Less than 30 seconds now in round 10. Griffith, wait, he got that left in. Instructions for the referee being called in Spanish. He's from Mexico, remember. end of round 10. There it is, coming up. Okay, we're going to stay here this time and take a look at Monzon being splattered with some water, given a refreshing draft. Doesn't seem to like it much. He has 5 rounds to go, 15 minutes more of actual action, if it goes all the way, and that's a long time when your arms are getting tired, when you can feel it in the legs too, no matter how well and how long you've trained, no matter what good condition you are in. Can you imagine fighting another human being for an hour? It has to be one of the great physical feats in sport, whether you're a boxing fan or not. Next week on Wide World of Sports, by the way, we're going to have a 300-mile Indianapolis car race from Trenton, New Jersey. Joe Leonard trying to wrap up the USAC. You are in. Can you imagine fighting another human being for an hour? It has to be one of the great physical feats in sport, whether you're a boxing fan or not. Next week on Wide World of Sports, by the way, we're going to have a 300-mile Indianapolis car race from Trenton, New Jersey. Joe Leonard trying to wrap up the USAC title for the year. And from Miami Beach, Florida, the World Cup Gymnastics Championship. Little Kathy Rigby, the pride of the United States, and John Crosby, who did so well for our country in the Pan American Games, will both be there. But now it's round 11. Now satellite coverage from Argentina. Griffith trying to become the aggressor now. He knows he has to. He's way behind on points, it appears, from our vantage point. Right lead, I don't think, hurt Monzon. Our very unofficial count here is 7-2-1 for Monzon. It certainly does appear that Griffith's going to have to knock out his man to win the fight. And with all the judges from Argentina, you wouldn't expect too much of a surprise in the judging going more for Griffith than you'd expect. Emile with that moving, shoulder shrugging style. Monzon more classical, standing up, leading with the left. But Monzon not displaying the right hand in the way that his fans here in his homeland had expected. He may yet do it, but he hasn't up to here. Remember, he knocked out Benvenuti twice, although the second fight certainly was kind of controversial with the towel being thrown in the 3rd round. And both knockdowns looking like they could have been pushes at least. Wild, long left uppercut didn't come anywhere near his man. Now Monzon. That left has been in Griffith's face for a long while now. First 4 or 5 rounds, Monzon didn't have the range, but he's had it for a good 5 or 6 rounds at this point. They begin to add up, those left jabs. Just let somebody tap you in the face once, and you'll know the left jab is not just a courtesy punch. Monzon staying away from the potentially lethal shots of Griffith, and still piling up the points, less than 30 seconds. Griffith looking very weary. Monzon's arms are going to be getting tired, though. You have to believe that. Throwing a lot of punches. 2 weary fighters here in the 11th round of a fight for the championship of the world, the middleweights. Here comes the end of the round.
We're back.
Round 12. Emile Griffith against Carlos Monzon for the middleweight championship of the world. Once again, the picture by satellite from from Luna Park, an indoor arena in Buenos Aires, Argentina, where 23,000 people have gathered to see the biggest sports event that's happened in Argentina in a long time. Monzon, the champion, performing before his countrymen. Apparently the leader by a long margin. He got hit that time. Not too hard, but he got hit. For those of you who have been with us all the way, please bear one more time while I explain that the picture is in black and white, because those are the only facilities available in Argentina. They don't have color TV down there yet. And I'm describing the action from New York. Griffith with a protest, though. I don't know exactly what he was protesting. I can't tell from this point. As I said, I'm doing the commentary from New York because our sound line from Argentina is out. Keith Jackson made a long journey from California all the way to Buenos Aires. Very frustrating. The sound doesn't work. The picture can go, what is it, 22,500 miles straight up in the air into a little satellite, and down, and the picture's okay. No sound. Both of these fellas are tired. You can see it now in Griffith. It's beginning to move in a little bit. I wonder if it's possible that Monzon is the more tired of the two, even though he appears to have a long lead on points. Griffith would figure to be the more tired. He's taken more punches, and he's 4 years older, and he's smaller. However, let's watch both men carefully and see. Monzon doesn't seem to have quite the precision and the accuracy he had a couple of rounds ago. Griffith looks pretty much as he's looked all through the fight. Oh, he popped up and threw in a little left that time. Crowd chanting for a knockout by their favorite. Round of a scheduled 15. And there are 25 seconds to go. And now Monzon has Griffith in some trouble. How serious? Let's see. But he had his back to us when the punches were thrown. It was difficult to say. He looks all right, though. In fact, they may not have landed too much at all. The crowd, as we said, still applauding any move by Monzon. Certainly that right hand landed. Let's go to the corner of Carlos Monzon, champion of the world, apparently on the way to successfully defending his title. Let's go back now and take a look at that little flurry near the end of the round, and I think we're going to have it in slow motion this time. As Monzon is ministered to by his assistants. Oh, there, you see, that one certainly missed. That one didn't look like it hurt. Griffith covering up very effectively here. Didn't look like any of those landed. Now let's watch right here, this one from the back. Those jabs look like they probably did. As for that right hand, it looked like it was going to be a little low. So it may have been that that flurry was not what it looked like. Again, Monzon has not been able to really tag his man. Not the way he's been doing in the past. Remember, this is a fighter who's had 34 knockouts in 72 fights. He's only lost 3 times and had 9 draws. Emile Griffith has won 70 and lost 11, one with no decision. And now it's round 13 by satellite. And now again, if you'll forgive me, I would address myself to our... Look out, Griffith moving in. And he landed a couple punches that time. I would address myself to our stations around the country, point out to you that the fight started a little bit late down there, so it may be running over. You can possibly stay with us till the end. We'd appreciate it. It's round 13, 2 more to go after this one. Monzon is a man preparing for a knockout. Lots of times that's exactly when it happens. He looks tired. still moving pretty much the way he has all night. His shorter reach so far has been his downfall, I'd have to say. He has 5 inches less in reach than Monzon's. He just hasn't been able to get inside, to pound at the body, and to come up into the face. There haven't been as many clinches as you might expect, either. Hasn't been too much inside fighting at all. Much, but he's kind of the aggressor right now. Monzon, the champion, on the right of the screen. The devastating overhand right really hasn't shown itself all the livelong fight, not to this point. As you see, to the end of the round. Fighter's getting more and more tired. His arms feeling like they weigh 100 pounds apiece. They're still throwing him.
This car won at the rugged. The battery in this car.
Terry from New York.
Sold only at Sears.
Round 14 of the scheduled 15 for the middleweight championship of the world. Picture by satellite. Commentary from New York. I'm Jim McKay, watching the monitor here because our sound line, our commentary line from Argentina is not satisfactory for air. Keith Jackson standing by down there. And I hope he's at least enjoying watching the fight after going all that way from California. Must be about 8,000 miles. Monzon on the left now. Griffith on the right. Fight looking pretty much the way it has from round 1. Monzon with the jab. Griffith trying to move in and not able to do it. But Monzon's jabs less sharp now. The action slowing down. To both of these men, each round seems about 10 minutes long. And every so often it looks as if they must say to themselves, but wait a minute, the championship of the world is here. If I can just grab it, throw that one punch in, thinks Griffith. Monzon, of course, would like to make a more spectacular showing than this before his home crowd particularly, and before the boxing fans of the world, literally watching by satellite in England and in Europe and in the United States, of course, and even in Argentina. There wasn't supposed to be home TV in Argentina, but yesterday the president of the country issued a special decree, since all seats were sold, saying put the fight on live TV at home. So they did. Monzon landing there. Everything he can think of to get inside. Grabbing his man. Now, whoop. And Monzon got a couple of good shots to the body while Griffith was in there. And out of the head. In round 14, when Monzon finishes man. One tough way to make a living, isn't it? Seconds slow motion here. Here's that last flurry of punches, the ones that the Mexican referee decided were all that there was going to be for tonight, that Griffith was just taking too much. Well, that was on the back of his head. Now let's see, here. That landed. That was on the back of the head. That landed. And now he's really hitting him. Now here's where Griffith went down, almost impossible to get at. He's still being pummeled on the sides of his head. And now the referee moves in and says it's all over with 14 seconds left in the 14th round. 14 and 14 turned out to be the magic numbers for Carlos Monzon. Air travel arranged through and a promotional fee paid by United Airlines, the airline of sports champions. That's it for today. Portions of today's program were pre-recorded. This has been an ABC Television Network sports presentation.
A brilliant sight.